everyone, Stella here, and I'm here to do your mid-March readings. These readings are for your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you're brand new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're returning, thank you guys so much for sticking with me, and I love you guys. So I'm gonna jump right into it. If you have questions, comments, feedback, please put them down below. I will link my website where you can purchase a private reading down below. I will link my email as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw one card, one or maybe two, for the general collective, and then we'll get into your personal readings. So what does the general collective need to know for the month of March? Knight of Cups reversed. So right off the bat, I'm getting like a Uranus connection, very watery, very sort of Pisces energy. We are in Pisces season right now. That's the other thing. Emotions are deep currently. Emotions run deep. The emotional current is very much, contradicting myself. It's deep, right? So the emotions are down there, but it's like right at the surface, right? It's available to us. So emotions that sometimes are buried down below are very much available during this time, during Pisces season in general. And so that's really the challenge, is to, get to learn your inner landscape a little bit more, get to learn how to work with your emotions, to turn them into your allies rather than your enemy, okay? So let's pull one challenge and one guidance. Two of Cups. Ooh, they're both reversed. Two of Cups and the Six of Wands. Challenge, guidance. Two of Cups is your connection with somebody else. So you can see cups represent the water element. You can see these two people are sharing or exchanging cups. They actually have their arms crossed, so she's like feeding him and he's feeding her. So this is emotional exchange with somebody else. It's in the reverse. So again, emotions are high right now. There is a lot of sort of rage, a lot of anger, aggressive energy, deceptive energy with Pluto right underneath the surface. So at least from now, whenever you watch this in the middle of March to, I would say, like the end of the first week in April, just be very conscious of what you say, what you do, and your temper. And if something does flare up inside you, give yourself some space. Don't react immediately, because it's going to be better if you give yourself time to settle and to think about what you're feeling specifically, than if you just react at this time, okay? And then your guidance is the Six of Wands reversed. Six of Wands is a card of celebration. It's a card of, like, he's a soldier that's gone out to battle and he's coming home and he's being celebrated. He's like participating in a parade, basically. So two things I'm getting from this. Number one, don't rely on like accolades from the outside, okay? Don't allow your self-worth to be based in what other people have to say to you or about you for the remainder of this month, specifically for that reason, because tempers are high. That energy is right underneath the surface. And if you take too much, like if you invest in it too much, right, it's going to end up hurting you. So just take everything with a grain of salt. Know that this time will pass, and again, work on finding your center and finding your value from within, right? God made all of us, God, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, made us all, wonderfully and perfect and beautifully. And it's up to you how you get to utilize that energy. But the fact that you exist is proof of your worth and of your value, right? So that's what it comes down to this month, reminding yourself of that constantly. The other thing that I'm getting is I'm getting like false like compliments sort of thing. So be careful about people giving you compliments again and taking it to heart, because at this time it may not be coming from like a pure place, because everybody's got this kind of tough energy. We're all going through it, right? So fill your cup from within. Don't rely on the outside to make you feel good, and be careful with those relationships. Be careful with relying or having expectations of others, right? That Uranus energy can be very very unexpected. So just take everything with a grain of salt, allow it to flow, and know that it will pass, okay? All right, I love you guys. On to your individual readings. Hi Aries, Stella here, and this is going to be your mid-March reading. So I'm going to just jump right in, and I apologize, it's going to get a little bit intimate here because I have my my earbuds in. I normally use a little microphone, but I'm not using it this time, so if you guys can hear me like breathing, and you're going to hear all my reactions, so there's that, a little bit of ASMR for you. I'm going to jump right in. I don't know why I'm being called to talk about this, probably just because it's on my mind, but I've been doing a lot of inner work personally. I work with a therapist, and let me tell you, any of you guys that are, this is old news for many people, but if you're on the fence about whether to, you know, talk to a therapist, whether it's worth your money, right? Because it can be expensive and it's often not covered by insurance, at least here in America. I came from a family that, you know, it's not that they didn't believe in it, but like, you know, like everyone else, like many people, I have family members that struggle with, you know, alcoholism or depression or different, you know, struggles. And this whole sort of realm of mental struggle was so draped in secrecy, right? Not talked about out in the open. And there was a lot of shame wrapped up in it culturally. And so, not that my family like didn't believe in it, but it was just like, there was this sort of underlying belief that like, if you had a problem mentally, you should be able to deal with it, right? Or you should be able to find the resources to deal with it. And that's not always the case. Like these people, sure, I can go talk to my friends and I can vent what I'm feeling to my friends, but it's not the same as having somebody who has dedicated their time and they've been trained, and you're literally, there's a reciprocation of energy. You're literally paying them money to sit there and talk to you and be supportive and help guide you through. And the value in that is huge. Your friends, your family members, no matter how much they love you, no matter how close you are, they're never going to be able to be as unbiased or help you. And sure, maybe you're saying like, well, I have a big, you know, family and friend group. I have different people, different resources I can go to. I'm really glad that you do. There are people that don't have that out there. And so if you're one of those people, good for you. You could still benefit from, you know, talking to a professional. And if you're not one of those people and you are struggling mentally, I cannot stress enough the value of it. So after that little spiel, I don't know if somebody needed to hear that. If someone out there is struggling, don't overlook going and talking to a therapist. Or if you have one, you know, but maybe you stopped or it's expensive, make it a priority and budget it, because it will be money so well spent and so worth it. So I don't know if someone needed to hear that, but anyways, I've been doing well, we do EMDR, which is really great. I have a couple, you know, traumas that I still struggle with today. And the EMDR kind of helps you go in the back door so that you're not having to like relive it. And anyways, we were just playing around and she was like, okay, I want you to pick like a really small frustration that you have, and we'll go through the series of exercises. So I picked like being in traffic and being late, right? Like I'm driving to work, I'm stressed, I'm late. So it was supposed to be like a mild frustration. So we go through the exercise, we did it, and like 2-3 days later, I was so frustrated out of nowhere. I'm a Gemini rising, but I'm a Pisces by heart, and I'm very much like, you know, love and light, and I try to look at everything with compassion, and I wanted to fucking slam the doors. I wanted to kick the table. I was so frustrated out of nowhere, and I had no like release for it. And it was this work that I've been doing, you know, stirred something up in me, something that I had like locked away and that I hadn't allowed myself to express. So the point of this story is like, you may have a lot of those moments coming up this month. Just know that you may feel frustration, and the point is to allow it to flow. Don't judge yourself, right? take yourself out of the current moment and tap into your witness self, right? And just look at yourself and go, wow, that's really interesting that I want to slam the door and kick the door right now. And actually, if I kick the door, it's going to hurt. So it's like these sort of self-destructive things are going to come up. Let them flow this month. So what does Aries most need to know? All right, that's it. Ooh, 9 of Cups and 8 of Coins. So, okay, we'll start with this and then we'll go on. The Sun up above. Wow, these are good cards, guys. Double in reverse. Ooh, okay, and we had the Ten of Swords. I decided to put it back because I just wasn't feeling it. But right off the bat, we have the Six of Coins. Six of Coins is about giving and receiving. You see, this is a card of charity. These people have their hands out, right? And he's giving, you know, alms, or he's giving, you know, money. And what is money but life force energy, right? It's the exchange of goods. It's what allows you to buy goods, to buy the things that you need to survive and to live a good life, right? Sixes are also very much about memories. Maybe somebody from your past is coming forward and offering you a gift. Maybe you are doing such for someone else in your life. But in general, it's like you, something is shifting this month and you're open to giving and receiving. I'm actually going to pull clarity on this. Can I have a clarity on the Six of Coins? Next to the Six of Coins, we have the Two of Swords. Okay, can I have one more? Two of Swords is a choice. Son of Swords. You may have a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius in your life. It could be a male air sign in your life. And they have really good advice to give you. I keep getting that it's relating to your past, but it's leading you to a choice where you have to make a choice one way or another. So Two of Swords is about a woman. She's holding the two swords and she's blindfolded. So it's like she can't, and see how the sun is blacked out there? She can't make a choice until she lays one of those swords down. And in doing so, she's like, you know, made her decision, right? She can't go back. But the point is, you're caught between two outcomes or two choices. Swords represent the air element, so they are words, communication, your thoughts, what you say to others. And it's like you can go one of two ways, and you're kind of caught. And then we got the Son of Swords. So I think you have a decision to make. Internal, the Hermit. External, the Three. Okay, so maybe you guys are starting a business. Maybe you're doing it with someone from your past. It could be this air sign. If that's not it for you, if that's too specific, then I think you're just starting something new. And somebody's giving you advice. It doesn't have to be someone from your past, but it may well be. And they're giving you some really good advice. And you're left having to make a choice. So internally, you're the Hermit, which is going inside, using your wisdom. And remember how I said the Six is about your roots and going back. So it's like you're going back into your database of knowledge, right? Of experience. And you are taking information from your previous experience and you're literally in the process of applying it to your new venture. And it may have something to do with charity. Maybe you're wanting to give back to people, or maybe someone from your past is giving you advice and they're offering you like a loan, a business loan, or they're just gifting you advice and financial assistance in your new venture. Because in your external environment, we have this Three of Wands, which is you see how they're like hand thatched together, right? And then inside is this beautiful like tie-dye kind of vortex, and outside it's very like stark. So this is like your inner vision, like your idea for what you want to do. Wands are about the fire element, so that Mars, that energy, that motivation to go and do something with your energy, with your time. And then threes are all about the first fruits. So it's like, if one is thinking of the idea, two is like gathering the materials, and three, now you're just starting to like thatch it together and take the first physical steps to manifest something. So the point here is that you're left with a choice of to move forward or not move forward, or go this way or go that way. Or perhaps I'm just noticing how these two are lined up like this. So perhaps your inner wisdom is telling you something different than what someone else is telling you, and you have to make a choice about what you're going to do. Either way, the potential for great financial reward, and in fact, more than enough money, like enough money that not only can you cover your own goals, but you have enough to give away. Either that or being the recipient of someone else's generosity. And this is a really positive card either way around. Like, there's no ill feelings here. These people are grateful and happy to receive, and this gentleman is so happy and so grateful and, fulfilled to be able to give, right? So whichever role you play in that, it's actually really positive and really beautiful. But you do have to make a choice moving forward, okay? Then we have the Nine of Cups. This is like ultimate happiness. This is like, you made this decision, it's paying off financially, and here you are with this, smug little smile on your face, and you've got all your cups lined up in the background. Okay, super beautiful. Above on your mind, we've got the Sun. The Sun card is all about like letting your inner light shine out, letting your inner child be heard and seen, and you're not afraid of judgment from the outside. Like, this is pure self-expression. This is what's on your mind. So it makes sense if you're starting a new venture, that you're wanting to express yourself, authentically. And it looks really good for you. In your recent past, we have the Five of Coins. You can see this is a card of sort of like desperation, not having enough, being left out in the cold, not having the resources you need. Fives are a number of struggle, and pentacles or coins represent the physical material things. So in your recent past, I think you've been struggling financially. And so that's why it's so fulfilling and it feels so good to finally either get this, this assistance from somebody, or be able to do this for someone else. It's like fills all your cups up and makes you so happy, because you've struggled in the past. You struggled for a long time, maybe. Presently, we've got you with the Three of Wands. So remember how I said the threes are a card? Oh, wow. Three of Wands, Three of Wands. Look. So do you see this? So this is about the first fruits. This is about bringing your idea to fruition. This is about following your inner vision for yourself, your passion. Do you see how this man has the three, staffs? He's looking out at the desert. He's decided, and his back is turned to us, so he's obviously moving forward, right? So it's like he's scoping out the landscape that he's about to traverse, right? He is looking at the landscape in front of him and preparing for his journey, for what's to come. Super beautiful. Can I have one clarity card on this Three of Wands, please? Just one. Four of Coins. So where you're going, this inner vision that you have for yourself is going to lead to stability. We have a lot of pentacles going on here. Four of Coins is about balance. It's about stability. The only thing is, and it probably ties into this choice card, the Four of Coins can be a card of a little bit of stagnation, because in the traditional tarot, if you guys are visual, it's a man and he's holding a coin. He's got a coin on his chest and a coin on his head. So it's like, yes, he's got lots of coins, right? But he can't move, because if he does, they're going to fall to the ground. And so it's like having to stay perfectly still in order to keep things exactly how they are. And there's no dynamicism, is that the right word? There's nothing dynamic about that, right? There's nothing spontaneous about that. There's nothing exciting. There's no change. There's no forward, you know, momentum. So I think this is why, or where you're at a crossroads where like you've been gifted this inner vision, but part of you is, or maybe you have started to see success, or somebody, you know, gave you this financial leg up, like I said, and you're afraid to lose it. So this is what's challenging you. I just asked for clarity on this. So the only thing is, as you pursue, or as you look out at the landscape and you decide where you're gonna, how you're gonna move, what you're gonna do, just be careful to not get stuck thinking that, you know, you might lose it all. That if you just stand still, or if you just don't make a choice, right, with this Two of Swords, that everything will stay the same, because it won't. The point is, you can't see clearly when you're not moving forward. You have to be constantly moving towards your goal, right? So just be careful of that mid-month. Don't get stuck up on worrying about what's going to happen with these coins, or am I going to use this money, you know, wisely? Am I going to be able to handle it, is really what it comes down to. Don't even start to doubt yourself like that. Don't even project that into your future. It's not here right now. You're coming off the heels of this beautiful emotional happiness, and this either, you know, attaining a gift, being able to give, or receiving yourself. Don't project, you know, lack into that. It's beautiful. It is what it is. It's great. I also want to read you, I'm gonna pull an oracle card at the end for you, but when I pulled this deck out, I had to laugh when I was setting up for the readings, because this is one of my favorite oracle decks that I use. It's the Esther and Jerry Hicks. It's a law of attraction based oracle deck. And the card that came out on top when I laid them down was, I will do my best to make the best of it. And the number's 55. So 5 and 5. 5 is a number of like difficulty, right? So a key to regaining your feelings of empowerment is to decide right now that no matter how good or how bad you are feeling, you are going to do your best to make the best of it. Do that again and again, and in a short period of time, you will find yourself in a very good feeling place. Okay, I hope that sinks in. So remember, but don't project something into your future that's not there. All you have right now around you and in your recent past is happiness. Yes, you have this memory of, you know, what it was like to struggle, but you're not there right now. Right now is the exciting time when you get to visualize where you want to go in the future, okay? So, and also I want to put this in perspective. For the Four of Coins to be like the challenge, or like the negative card, you guys are in a fabulous place. Just make sure, what I was talking about astrologically this month, things are going to get sticky and difficult. Make sure you don't start second guessing yourself, especially when it comes to finances and money later on in the month, okay? So the same thing, it's kind of echoed here. Your challenge with this card is, or, you know, in general this month, is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who is solid. He is, he's an earth element. You might even have a Taurus, Capricorn, or, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your life that's somehow making your vision, they're somehow challenging your vision of what you want for yourself and your progress forward. Or this is you and your, you know, money worries, because you're worried about your ability to follow through, right? To take what you've been given and make something solid and tangible of it. You're afraid of letting people down, you know, essentially, because he's a very dependable, reliable, solid, financially solid person. And for this to be your challenge right over top of your vision that you're starting to manifest, I think you're worried about letting people down is like your, you know, your deepest fear. With that said, your challenge below is the Devil card in reverse. So that's interesting. Devil in reverse. Maybe you've just gotten out of like, I'm actually going to pull clarity before I speak on that. What is this Devil in reverse? Can I have a clarity for this Devil in reverse, please? Seven of Swords. So I think this is about you being, so this is your challenge. Devil represents everything that chains you, that binds you down. Toxic relationships, toxic patterns with people, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns, drugs, alcohol, generational things in your family, things that you're trying to overcome, but that are obviously tying you down, right? In a negative way. Toxicity, anything that brings toxicity into your life. It's in the reverse. Okay, so that means you've overcome it. It means it's no longer influencing you so strongly. But for it to be your challenge, I pulled the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands, do you see how these kind of look like a fence, right? Traditional tarot, it's a man and he's walking and he's set up all these wands. Well, wands are motivation, right? These are the things, the beliefs, your values, the things that motivate you into action. And it's like building a wall around yourself. It's like being so afraid of this outcome that you are no longer open to, something new coming in because you're afraid. And it's the same thing with this Two of Swords, where like in the traditional tarot, if she doesn't put a sword down, she can't take her blindfold off, right? So the point is, while both your hands are tied and you're blindfolded, you can't see what's truly happening. You can't see reality around you. So in that way, you're working strictly from your fears, right? So this is just a caution to not allow yourself, don't build a fence around yourself, okay? Don't isolate yourself. Don't try to, prevent this same thing in the past from happening. It already happened and you've already overcome it. So you already have the tool set that you need to overcome it. So it won't happen again unless you project it out into your future, right? So then in your future, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is like being able to speak your mind clearly, being able to be true to your word, standing up for what you believe, communicating what you believe. This is a very communicative card. And it's beautiful. It's about taking your message forward. And he's even facing forward. He's facing this way. For you, it's going to look backwards. But for me, he's facing, the future. It's beautiful. It's carrying your message forward. Okay. So super beautiful, Aries. It's a really great reading. There's just a couple little energies that could trip you up if you're not careful. I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle card. What is the advice for Aries? What does Aries need to know? I learn to pay attention to my feelings. Your emotions are absolute indicators of your current point of attraction. They help you know in any moment whether or not you are currently allowing the fulfillment of your desire. It is our encouragement that you pay attention to how you feel and allow your emotions to be the valuable indicators they are. So remember what I was saying about when emotions come up and you have these sticky emotions. So in that moment, when you're feeling frustrated and you want to kick a door, right? Or when you are feeling sad and you want to cry, you're not attracting what you want, right? Because obviously you don't want more of those feelings. But the way past it is through it. So allow it to flow and notice your emotions and let yourself express them. And then once you express them, go and deliberately do something that you know is going to raise your set point. Go take a walk. Go do something that you know you enjoy, that you know feels good. And by doing that, you're going to slowly tease these stuck places out of your system, and you're going to be able to overcome them. So it's like when I went and told my my therapist about what happened, that we did the little EMDR session, and then I started feeling really frustrated and really, it's like, well, that emotion has probably been stuck in me for a long time, right? And logically, I know I have more resources available to me now than I did when I first felt that feeling, right? And so I can bring those resources in to help me get through that emotion. And once I allow it, once I witness it and I bring it to light, it's no longer in the shadows and it can no longer control me. because I've named it. It's a thing. I know what it is, right? So that's what you're going to be, you know, doing this month, and pay attention to your emotions. And if you need help with it, seek out the help. If you don't need help with it, then just pay attention to what they're telling you, because they're valuable indicators. Okay. Oop. Gosh, don't be so violent, God. Okay, we got dragon. This is a super powerful card. This, by the way, is the Wild Unknown spirit animal deck. Ooh. Okay, dragon. I'm going to show you the card while I read it. Seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let it go. When we let the dragon guide us, we hop onto its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Anji is dim. Anji is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. Maybe even just the mention of the dragon stirs embers of intelligence within you. The dragon and the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center, the Manipura Chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe that the health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to see clearly, to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. So, a couple things I want to say after reading that. Number one, the witness consciousness, right? That is God. That is source. The witness is the one that is not tied up in the mundaneness or the smallness of our emotions, right? It's the one that stays calm. It's the I at the center of the storm, the I, right? I am that I am. I am. When I forget the story in the Bible, but when he asked God's name, when he said, "What should I tell them?" He said, "Tell them that I am." Let that resonate. Tell them that I am. You are. I am. We both are. I am what I say I am. So behind every emotion, behind every hardship, every struggle is that witness, that presence that's standing there full of compassion, full of love, full of light, curious, wanting to know more about us, wanting the best for us. And then the second part that I want to tap into is when it said traversing no matter how difficult the landscape. Remember what I was saying about this Three of Wands, and you're looking out over the landscape, deciding how you're going to traverse it and where you're going to go. That's where you sit back and you trust God, right? This energy that you've received or that you've given, you may be worried that you're going to mishandle the money, or that maybe you won't be able to live up to expectations. There are no expectations but for those that you've set. And that witness, that God is with you at all times. Manipura is your solar plexus, your third chakra. It governs your willpower. It governs your hunger, your drive, your inner fire. So yoga, bright colors, citrus, are all, I don't know why I'm getting that, but lemonade, like things that get your digestion going. Lemonade, orange juice, even grapefruit is really good for the third chakra. And it's all about willpower and the ability to transform and transmute and exert your will, right? The I am onto your unique I am, onto the world around you. So if you ever start to feel overwhelmed, tap back into that. It's also the home base because it's at the center of the body, right? So tap back into, shrink back down into that third chakra and really tap into the I am and the witness, and know that wherever you are, in whatever state, it's okay. You exist for a reason. You're here, and you being here is proof of your worth and your value. And so whatever decision, whatever emotion, whatever hardship you could ever face under the sun on the earth is all in divine timing. It's all divine. It is, right? It simply is. So acceptance of what is going to be really powerful for you this month, Aries. And with that acceptance of what is, what has been your past, what is now, and what you want your future to be, all of that is wrapped up in the I am, in who you see yourself to be. So know that you have the ultimate control, and that compassionate, loving peace, that oneness, that dragon, that God, that I am, is always with you, no matter what. So knowing that, you don't have to be afraid. What would you choose for yourself? What would you want your future to look like? What do you want to do? That's where you are right now, Aries. And yeah, we have a lot of Mars energy, Pluto, we've got a lot of astrological, difficulties, but overall, it's about, we're going to be moving into Aquarius season pretty soon. It's about being your unique self. And that's what the next really decade is going to be about as well. And you're right at the beginning of that. What do you want for yourself, Aries? Believe in it, and it is so. And the universe, the energy of all of the universe and all of the love is behind you and with you, because you are. Okay, that's going to be the title of this video. I am that I am. I love you guys. I will see you in April.